Alright, Mo. So this another installment or whatever of the Vault. I'm your host, Ebenezer. You dig what I'm saying? I'm hoping I, did this well enough to present. You dig what I'm saying? I hope it might strike a chord in you. So this new moon in Gemini, Punarvasu. Salutations to Lord Sri Ganesh. Removal of obstacles. I am Lord of auspicious beginnings. Please preside over this report and guide the intellect. Remove any obstacles and kind of guide me away from the confusion so that I might not exaggerate or do too much. I understand you help with afflictions of the nose, so any type of obsessions and excessive behaviors that might come up in this zone, may you please preside over those. Humbly I ask you, and I offer my, you know what I'm saying, I offer my efforts. Okay, so yeah, this is the new moon. So new moon is about planting seeds in agriculture. It's a time of stillness. It represents the Sabbath biblically. So you get your intentions right. New moon is where the sun, moon come together. Amavasya, it means to dwell and cohabit together. No moon is visible. Your mind, job like it's working for your soul intent during this time. Should be. So from the things present in the new moon, we gain insights into the next month in our lives, depending on where the new moon is in your chart. If it's new moon in your fourth house, you feel me? You'll be communicating about, you've been probably talking to your mom or communicating about home, things of the nature of vehicles and stuff like that. You dig what I'm saying? If it's in your first house, you'll be sitting up there communicating and working on your social skills and how you come across to others. You dig what I'm saying? So new moon sign of Gemini and first pada of Punarvasu. Gemini is dual air ruled by Mercury. This is the intention. So new moon in Gemini is the intention to interact and adapt to information and communication. Just talking, social things, learning new skills, exchanging ideas, creating like, maybe you go and selling something or you got business that you might be trying to like get off the ground or something. This month, we will consider it to be a social and communicative month. One might not care to socialize that much. It's dual. So you got choices. You might want to read and research, write more, study more this month, as opposed to like connect and be social and talk. You feel me? So Mercury is Lord of Gemini. Mercury rules over speech. He governs speech, communication, the intellect, pattern recognition. You dig what I'm saying? And Mercury is in Cancer, so this month is about having careful communication. Speaking about deep things. The new moon is in Gemini. You communicating. What are you communicating? Deep emotional feelings, or you might be learning about emotional intelligence. Mercury is about vocation. Natural six lord. So it's also about labor, emotional labor. You can refer to my old content about emotional labor. You don't get paid for it. No one really recognizes it, but everybody need it. Especially from the black man. But the black man get discredited about that. Like what? It's crazy. You know how this shit used to be? Motherfucker be mad, they having a bad day and they kick a nigga in the shin. Kick a nigga in his shin. Who cares? I feel better now. Put that nigga on a tree. I feel better now. You do what I'm saying? But emotional labor can't get. You was getting free labor off a nigga back. Now we still getting free labor because when people mad, they gonna take it out on a nigga something. Just saying niggas ain't shit. Just make people feel better. You dig what I'm saying? Now I'm kind of like in two different spaces because moon currently is in Ardra. Full moon phase is in Ardra to Punarvasu. The exact moment of full moon is in Punarvasu though. So that really gives us the key and shit. But we kind of let these things go, these injustices and, this mistreatment that goes on in Ardra, the star of sorrow. You feel me? It come up to surface And then Punarvasu, you return to light and you find yourself again. So it's a mutual exchange. They interact. It's like Moon is guided by Mercury, but Mercury in Cancer is guided by Moon. That's interesting. So Mercury, in order to operate in Cancer, he has to do what? Punarvasu, he has to return home, return and begin again. Why? Because he'll find the Lord of Cancer in his own sign. That's very supportive just naturally. But in this instance, for this moon, I think that's a job like key theme. Also, Moon and Jupiter are in a mutual exchange in Nakshatra. So in a very subtle way, there's communication, well, not communication, but creativity and nurturing through knowledge, learning, travel. You dig what I'm saying? Expansion. So it's a good time to just like maybe you want to reconcile some things with a past lover or a family member or a friend or something like that. Now be your time because you'll be able to communicate some of those tougher emotions. You'll be able to communicate and discuss and exchange how y'all feel in a logical, clear kind of way. Maybe y'all reconcile, maybe you just find yourself again like, motherfucker, we was going through this and I lost myself and I just need to know about this and da 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 da. But now you got the ability to actually talk about what was going on or how you felt more so. Because truth be told, a lot of people don't know how to communicate what they're feeling. Autistic people talk about this all the time. Where it's like, oh, I can read all the cues of people, but if you can't be an adult about the jump and say like this how you feeling, then why do I have to do the labor of reading body language and feeling your aura and having you dig what I'm saying? Now I gotta ask you about something because you want to be asked about something. That's crazy. That has to be cut out. I know why you in a bad mood. You've been eating too many animals. You dig what I'm saying? And it's causing you to want more blood. You just hungry, right? But you hungry for what? Not some fruit. You hungry for some wings and some fried, something to make your heart hard. Don't do that. Just chill. All the animals and fried everything that you eat is causing your heart to be hard, and you need to return to the light, man. You dig what I'm saying? So 5 things to practice during this month. 1, communicate. How well are you communicating? Are you being honest about yourself and in your interactions? Mercury and Rahu are good friends. Good friends. But in the Navatra system, Mercury represent happiness, comforts for Rahu, but Rahu represent destruction for Mercury. So it's like your karma, you can get some real bad karma and some tumultuous events because you lying and you being deceptive and you trying to be too smart and too like Mercury and Rahu, that's that gaslighting energy. No bat. I have to watch the movie Wall Street with whoever the guy is. They all look the same. I ain't gonna bat. I don't be knowing. So consider how well you communicate with the people who matter the most to you. Check that you're not talking too much and it's not unnecessary information. Oh my goodness, when Mercury was in Gemini, all y'all was doing was just talking. It was like, I realized you got chatterboxes and then you got the drums that they beat on. And y'all just be abusing the shit out of the drums. They just, oh, let me talk about this, I'm talking about that. Some of this shit don't be about nothing. And I get it. I'm more on the Virgo side. So therefore, like it really gotta mean something. Now I noticed this too. Mercury at home in his own signs, he does well, but he does a lot of what he does, which is talk. He does a lot of talk and makes your mind so restless. Mercury does well when he's paired with other planets and getting aspects from other planets. You dig what I'm saying? Because what Mercury and Gemini wants to just talk and communicate and just has information about things. Mercury and Virgo is kind of critical. He want to improve on things this and it's Earth, so it's more physical. It's like things Mercury can touch and feel and use and utilize. That's favorable. But Mercury got to be guided. You got to put your intellect towards certain things. You feel me? But 2, meditate. Consider your mental state. Mindfulness, meditation, just ground practices with grounding. Mercury lives in an arena and he's earth element. Mercury is earth element and he lives in a little place with like he stay in the neighborhood, in the park, at the basketball court, running in the grass. That's what Mercury do. So just you might want to do those things. He on a skateboard or a bike. He just riding around town. 3, socialize. How are you tending to your social skills? Gemini is flirty. It's Maithuna in the Sanskrit, and that's about the soulmate. You feel me? Like, what is that? Love and the techniques of love and all of that, right? And it's real chatty patty. So it's like it's a decent time to just brush up on lighthearted talking and flirting and hey, how are you? And introduce yourself. 3rd house is about meetings, meeting people, meetings and introductions and stuff like that. You just introduce yourself to a couple people and stuff like that. You feel me? 4, Gemini is the sign of siblings. See your siblings. Talk to your siblings. Just chat with them. Even if it's just this one time a year, it's the best time for it. Talk to your siblings. Make time for your siblings. Number 5, read more. Mercury is at home in this sign, but it's air and he's earth element, so he needs something practical. You feel me? A lot of the things that might be tangible that you come across really could just be experiences. You might be at work or you might be in traffic or I don't know, just out and about, just shopping or whatever, talking. But what do you talk about? Is it grounded in anything? Because you might start talking about people or situations and that go into gossip. And one of the deepest karmas and sins, or sinful karmas for Mercury is gossip, envy, jealousy, resentment. There's that covetous spirit and stuff like that. So you gotta watch that. You might want to just read something. It could tell you about yourself, right? Are you learning a new skill? What are you interested in? Feel me? Draw up a reading list and then just work on that jump, right? So the star Punarvasu, the star of renewal. Let me look at the time so I can put timestamps. We 12 minutes in. It's pretty decent timing, you guys. So Punarvasu is the star of renewal. Puna, the root Puna, means return. Vasu means light, but Vasus are universal principles or gods. 8 Vasu, can I pull that up? I don't know them off the top of my head. Patience with me. Okay, found them. So the 8 Vastus, or the bright ones, are Antarshika or Aha, that's space, a pervading or pervasion. Allows it moving, right? It's like a fabric. Dhruva is the motionless pole star protected by the 7 brothers, 7 sages, perhaps chakras and the planets, right? They revolve around that central point. Appa or Soma, water, lord of vegetation, who inspires with emotion. Appa is the deity for my star, and I love Soma. Prithvi or Dara is earth, fertility, reproduction, support fertility. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. It's really 2 in the pink, 1 in the purse, but fertility, earth, support. Vayu, Anala, wind. Vayu is he gives strength, so wind is the breath, and Vayu is the supreme. The supreme is of the Vasus. Krishna is Vayu. They give you strength. Feel me? Agni or Anala is fire, living. It's animating, and because Agni communicate with the gods, so it's like, yeah, it's an animating kind of like archetypal communicative energy. Because Agni take many forms and is a form of, you feel me? Aditya or Pratusha eternal light or the bright dawn. And then Prabhasa is sky or light. So it's 8 vasus. So you return to certain principles, return to the light, return to the bright dawn. You feel me? Yeah, it's fucked up and it get dark, but the sun gonna come up. Guaranteed the sun gonna come up. Why is the sun gonna come up? Because this job like revolving around the motionless pole star. It returns to the light. Vegetation, the water and the Lord of vegetation, you 70% water. The moon job light still up there. Okay, you still got a chance to get it going and get inspired. The earth gonna support you. The wind's gonna give you strength through adversities, because Vayu and the Ayurveda, Vayu kind of like causes a little stress and stuff like that. But through that, you get strong bones because of good Vayu. And then Agni gets yourself living, help you digest things. You feel me, digest your experiences. And space, it's just pervading. Space is like what you use to make room for God, make room for renewal. I just heard a ding. That might be a good thing. So Punarvasu Shakti gives us the power to gain wealth and substance. Substance, I was thinking, refers to like a deity, but substance is the prime substance. Like, okay, what is this stuff made out of? And whatever it is, it must be infinite and endless. And then it can't even, in a way, it exists in a state of non-existence. You feel me? Something so infinite that it's so tiny, and then yet so tiny that you get infinite. And that's why I use this background with this fractal pattern. Because all these different patterns and colors and distortions and different like layers to the fabric and movements, right? You zoom in, it be the same point. That's why like they say better sheet. The Bible starts with better sheet because it's emanating from the point of Aleph, or the point of the supreme. You dig what I'm saying? The point of infinite. Aleph look like one hand, and then it's like some type of barrier, and then it's another hand, and then it's like God reaching out to man, but it's a veil. There's a fabric between them, and from this fabric, everything emanates. Better sheet. In the beginning is a deity. In the beginning, I was talking to my man. He's an Israelite. I was at like super close to like going with the Israelite jump, but then something was revealed to me. Maybe the full moon went in Mula some years back. I started getting into astrology. I was like, nah, I have to take a step back because that's more so a narrative. But if we always go in the beginning, you dig what I'm saying? Everything built on precept in the beginning. You feel me? Don't tell me about anything in Exodus when in the beginning they said this. You dig what I'm saying? So a deity is in the beginning. Better sheet. Beth is a house. A house is feminine. You go into it like a womb does. You dig what I'm saying? The lining of the womb every so often. The cycle, she's a cyclical but infinite goddess. You dig what I'm saying? So like women just like go through cycles every time. I follow the moon. I be knowing the cycles and think, okay, shit peaking. Let me get out her way, or let me put pressure on this. So you dig what I'm saying? But every so often the line that come out is brand new, but it's the fabric is just restoring. It's a strange but real kind of just and it just does it. Alright, so yeah, so in the beginning, a deity relates to the great space of beyond. So like, I'm not really too, oh dang, I read that, but I ain't too versed on Kabbalistic teachings. But it's like you got Kether, that's the crown, but then you got that fabric, that space of infiniteness, triple blackness, and like negative, like not negative, like but negation, where it's like all it kind of separate, and yet it is the material from which all the rest of the tree can pull forth, this fractal. You dig what I'm saying? It's just I don't really be getting into Western no more. I kind of like, once you get into Sidereal, you really need to do as Mula teaches us, and just unroot, uproot, destroy everything. Gotta untangle. The truth always gonna be there. It's gonna be right there. But everything else tangles, and you can. So the cyclical emanations and the endless expansions, and what is it? It's a PL word where it's like plural, or it mean an expansion of the Lord or contraction of the Lord. So the Lord expands and expands. When he was when in his story of Vamana, the Lord had expanded to a size where it was like you could see within the Lord all the universes. Expanded to a size where it's like, whoa, I can see infinity within you, Lord. Aditi. I can see the beginning. Because in the beginning was the Word. The Word was God. You dig what I'm saying? So in the beginning was the Word was God. God expanded and expanded down. He over top of both of the worlds went 2 steps. Mahabali, he's a prideful demon, but he a pious demon. How you pious and then prideful? You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I said it was like I couldn't really get with the Israelites. They are tribe of Judah. Judah is a lion. Lions represent pride. Nah, I ain't really got that in my spirit. That ain't, you feel me? Blessings to you all. But demons really mean pride. They about power, pride, prestige. I'm learning. So it's just material gratification and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, And then we got all this and this. And Israelites had to burn the calf. God loved calves and bulls and cows. And he was like, y'all need to just symbolically get rid of this because you missing it. That's my vehicle, not yours. But look, in the beginning. So the cyclical emanations, right? So it's like it destroy. You think it just really think about the fabric and line, and if you're not, don't be so freaked out. But fabric and lining in the womb, it materialized, and now it's prime and it's ready for some, and then it kind of like make some have manifest some, and even if it don't, the cycle, nigga, it just winter. It's like, okay, now just alright, and then start a brand new cycle. But she undivided. So it's like she from Aditi you get the supreme, and then from the supreme you get Aditi, because in the beginning was God, and God was the Word, and God is the Word. The Word is God. In the beginning was the Word. You feel me? So Kalabaraba. There's so much I could like say, but grants us to return. So like after the destruction of Ardra ruled by Rudra and Rahu, destroying of illusions and injustices and the deception, Rudra is the howler and the hunter, and he is lord of wild animals. You dig what I'm saying? Even biblically, they talk about like great hunters. I'm trying to think of one. Like I want to say like Gilgamesh. That's Sumerian, but Nimrod, great hunters. But when they speak about how they was with animals, the animals will actually come to them. You dig what I'm saying? Understanding, okay, you the one that you really understand how this nature thing works. A natural understanding, like a hunter. And then when we talk, once again, too much talking. Let me continue. So Arja, he destroyed things. He was like, man, this job, like, this ain't right. He was born that way, just knowing like this ain't right. Woo woo. And then the previous star was Brahma chasing after he was tracing after trying to indulge within his creation, and he wanted to get all caught up and indulge in it. And it was kind of like Rudra, the Shiva, he was like, nah, you gotta cut his head off. You feel me? Get your head cut off. It's a storm. He flood things and cause monsoons. And then after the storm, Punarvasu grants us return to restoration and a renewal. Because plants need water, man, to grow. Plants need rain to grow. The earth need rain. You feel me? The cyclicality of the indivisible goddess. This was the shloka and something. I was watching Victor Carr. Cyclicality of the indivisible goddess needs dried out things to make moist. Feel me? So once you sit up there and destroy things, it's desolate, it's dry. It's like, dang, we ain't even got nothing to do. We ain't got this. And you maybe going through withdrawals if you was going, because it's Rahu started. Rahu was about like drugs, poisons, addiction, stuff like that. So maybe you was sitting up there, you was doing something, and it was intense, and it was all this and all these little whatever illusions and obsessions and addictions, emotions. You was getting your emotional addiction fulfilled, quite likely. Um, and now things kind of dry, and you bummed out because like, oh man, I had to let that go. The roller coaster ride is over. Bummer. Now I need things. Now I need to make moist. I need to make my life moist again. Feel me? Take down your way. I was about to say something else, but dried out things to make moist. So cyclicality is just the endless seasons, cycles of nature. Trees every year. A lot of trees. I cannot speak for all plants, but trees, they drop their leaves and then they just work on their roots, my nigga. They drop their leaves and work on their roots. And then when the sun come back out and the rain come again, and it's after the winter storms, and they get a little rainstorms and stuff to shake them out of their little slumber, uh, 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 and awaken them from their roots, right? Then they start growing leaves as a reflection of the time they spent working just focused on their roots. So it's just beginnings and endings, the renewal of things, and then the ending of things, but always knowing that yeah, something ended, but you got newness and then you got oldness. You just pick what you want to do. So the goddess is undivided. It's the prime substance. So this is like when they speak about faith in the Bible, faith is the belief of things not seen, but it's also a substance. Faith is a substance. The blessing of Abraham from Hebrew teachings is about faith. It's about just knowing that there's a substance, knowing that, God had put forth a substance. This is why he told Abraham, I will make your seed exceedingly so. Your seed, the thing that you plant during the time of new moon, I'll increase it, and you have generations of it. You dig what I'm saying? Generations, Genesis, in the beginning. In the beginning. So substance is what the gunners in nature is made of and cannot be separate from itself. So she undivided, meaning that like you got Rogers, Sattva, and Thomas. You got creativity, passion, sustenance, clarity, and ignorance, darkness. You feel me? And all these things, those three things come together and make everything that we see in this material sky. Now, the material sky is but probably less than this of the spiritual sky, which means the entire fabric of the infinite all is what the gunners come from, and it is undivided against itself. So when you need, like, if you got faith, you undivided against yourself, and ain't no room for any division. All right. So the supreme arises from the beginning, Aditi, and is not subject to the gunas. The dried out is that which is probably subject to the gunas, and quite likely if it's too much tamas, then that person is kind of dusty and like and rigid and hard. You dig what I'm saying? So where am I at? So the dried out is the boring, the uninspired, the dead, the unclarified, that which is lacking in substance, weight. You feel me? You got dry weight of shit, and then if you put water on that don't, the wet weight is different. A gram of this dry weight look different from a gram of this, I don't know, tuna fish salad, right? So to make moist is to bring life, freshness, excitement to something. And then I thought about this, right? We come from dust. We come from the dirt. Dirt, you return to dust. Some people get cremated, but if they put you in a coffin or whatever, like they put you in a coffin and now you're in dirt in a coffin. You dig what I'm saying? But if you put water on those things, now you kind of get mud. You get something that's a bit malleable and pliable. Now you can then mold it and shape it. And if you get like dry anything, you rehydrate it, it's good to go. You get a box of rice and beans or something like that and rehydrate that thing. Oh yeah, it's good to go. You feel me? Now it's exciting. You feel me? So if you say you got new moon in your seventh house and your love life was a bit dried out, you can expect some freshness coming your way. What would you have to do? You gonna have to do them five things. You feel me? Maybe your sibling. Might go see your sibling. Your sibling knows somebody. Oh my gosh, you can hit it off with them. You feel me? Um, you communicate. Say you got this new moon is in your 10th house. You feel me? If you communicate and talk to people and read and research, you might find a new way, a new skill that could help your livelihood and sources of income and stuff like that, or your reputation for things. You feel me? You might become, oh yeah, I love talking to that person. They're fun. You feel me? So it's newness versus oldness. Punarvasu wants to make things new, exciting, inspiring. It could also ruin our lives. Punarvasu is like some scars. So you see these little pine cones and this fractal that I put in the background. Those like little grooves get dark. Those grooves get dark. So that mean like those are points where motherfuckers get caught up chasing their own tails. Where's my emotional addiction? You feel me? If you addicted, like depending on the level of your counterfeit personality, like you might be too far. You feel me? So, or it could make one ascend as if walking on a spiral staircase. So it's just to begin again. You just start over, but not being something else. You be authentic. Every day you either becoming more authentic or more counterfeit. I am due to some scars, which is like impressions and grooves through to karmic habits over many lives or just this life. You feel me? Your mind easily go there. So your mind be like, oh yeah, yeah, and then slip into a fucking groove. And it might not be a good groove. You feel me? It might slip into a crevice and now it's stuck there. It's sitting up there doing debauchery and they can't get out of doing debauchery. And you have to be careful with this star because things repeat themselves. So it's quite likely you'll be sitting there doing this over and over again. You feel me? This is where you get habits, good habits, or addictions. So if you was in that roller coaster ride for a little too long and you knew you was kind of needed to get out of that jump, yeah, you probably got a crazy little groove in your brain and your mind, because now it's like you'll see somebody and it'll do this, but you only got so far through meditation and mindfulness and the repetition of trying to work that out. You end up what can I say? Yeah, you end up only getting so far, and then your addiction hit. You feel me? The path, your neurons and your brain plasticity, you ain't actually created and attached enough of them paths. So now it's like that jump be reaching for something, and then that familiar thing right there. And then go there, and now you sit up there, now you gotta do it all over again. You feel me? And just like space, the fabric of space is kinda like that shit just it's expanding. 97% of everything is space. So it's all like be expanding and stuff like that. So oftentimes like you still be creating new, like space still be growing, but that thing you got reach over there, and it requires you to kind of be consistent in your reach and approach to it. Right? So you just start over, but do it authentically and you improve on existing things. So whatever you do that is authentic to you and an authentic expression of you, if you continue to do that, Punarvasu will make those things even fresh and new. And those things that you kind of start moving away from, fresh new opportunities to feel that with something else can come up, but don't force it. If you force it, you get right back into that other little groove you used to be on. So they guide us that we will find renewal and return to our source, to our home, to where we get peace from. You know what I'm saying? After crucifixion comes resurrection. Jesus' life teaches us that after crucifixion, it's just like, oh my gosh, resurrected. It's like, oh, we checked in that junk. Where was you at? Where was you at? You, we thought we left you for dead. And we came back to check in 3 days, and you wasn't even there. Huh? Where that nigga at? Where is she at? Feel me? I ain't there no more. You feel me? So the symbol for Punarvasu is a bow and arrow, a quiver of arrows, astras. Astras are a divine weapon that, like, you shoot the jump, it does its mission and its objective, and it just like disappear and return right back to the quiver. This is where the fractal comes. It's just repeating the process, shooting the arrow out, hitting your objective, and getting right back. No more, no less. It's exactly the objective. That shows a sense of integrity. You feel me? Anything more or less, it really shows either a lack of habits or addiction and compulsions or obsession. You feel what I'm saying? So they represent potential energy. You pull that, you draw that bow back, you direct it, you target it towards something. Archery is associated with Sagittarius, sign of truth. So, truth. Good arrows are straight and true. Missing it, you lie. You on that bull. Feel me? Drawing the bow back has its resistance and own tension and power, right? And the arrow is a reflection of it projects the power of the bow into the world. The bow, that little crescent shape. Hold on, no, don't bring all that up. So the symbol of the bow, this little crescent moon, represents your mind. Your mind is a driver of what is an arrow? Sagittarius, that's dharma, that's purpose. In a way, that's authority. You dig what I'm saying? So your mind projects the energy of whatever your willpower, and well, your mind is just like the vehicle and vessel, and like kind of like the driver and motivator for all your other attributes, but it does not make decisions. You just point your mind at stuff, put your mind on things, focus your mind on things, and then you start directing your energy and your willpower to those things. Willpower is Mars. Moon and Mars are friends. They work very well together. But your mind it don't make good decisions. So and a loose, like, say you draw the bow back, not knowing that like you really need strength to pull a bow back, and then if you got a loose grip, it'll slip. So now it's like you pulling the bow back, trying to look cool, like, yeah, I pulled that jump back. Or you might realize, just be proud, I got to pull it back, but you ain't aiming right, you ain't skilled, and then finger slip, oop, somebody eye went out, or you hurt some, or anything could happen. You feel me? And that might create an impression like, oh my gosh, right? Focus. But you do it over time with repetition. Punarvasu, it's just repeating, right? You can accumulate things through that repetition. You get some substance, something to talk about through that repetition, right? But that part about a loose grip and not being so focused, it's like giving your power away for a real short-term result. Or I was thinking, like, you might have two targets. One, you always hit that jump. It's closer, shorter, it's right there. And then the other is just a little further on. You don't hit that jump that much. But if you do, you'll feel more confident, because this, you kind of bored with this short one. But you get slight little dopamine from this, as opposed to the dopamine rush you're going to get from hitting that jump just a few times and then going for the next one. And then you might get dopamine even from missing, but you just trying to hit the hardest one or whatever, right? So, giving your power away. Punarvasu, the star is Castor and Pollux in the sky. The stars, the twins, are Gemini. So Gemini dual nature. So your mind is usually thinking about two experiences. One that's material and physical, whereas one twin was a fighter, a hunter. He cleared a club or a spear or arrow, bow and arrow. And then you got the other experience might be a little bit more subtle and profound, whereas that other twin was a poet, an artist, and he carried a heart with him. The twins are gardeners, and they was gardeners whose job it was to restore, rehabilitate, and renew lost knowledge. And then Punarvasu, people with Punarvasu moon, like you can trust, like those are the ones that's, yeah. If you want to learn astrology, like really kind of like fundamentally learn it, find somebody with Punarvasu moon. They on YouTube. I can give you a few if you can tell, Monish, Astro Astrologer, and I think Hood Mystic, Punarvasu moons. That them up, they preachy. Punarvasu moons, even like ones that don't, even the ones that's not teachers, they just kind of like they won't want to teach. Like it's getting close towards Jupiter's exaltation and shit, so they just like knowledge, nigga, read, nigga, and learn it. But I'm about to teach you something, right? So yeah, can be preachy. I think what's going on also Jupiter type. I'm a Venus type, so I think this the planetary relationships play a factor in how one receives and gives information to others. I ain't going back, but universally amazing. They can get you like, man, you understand the man. You be like, oh yeah, they teach real. I don't know how to put it. Jupiter and Mercury, what's Mercury? Earth element. Jupiter taught Mercury earthly skills and knowledge, so it's like, yeah, it's real like grounded, practical knowledge they can give. And then other twins in mythology is Jacob and Esau. Esau was the older brother, and he was coerced into giving away his birthright just for a morsel of food. The hunger that he had, you feel me? That impression, that oh man, and then his mind started thinking about the hunger. And then he thinking like, man, what good is this birthright if I starve to death? Because his mind telling him, oh yeah, you're so tired, you're exhausted, you're hungry, you're famished, all this shit. So this highlights the issues we get from self-control, envy, greed, and apathy. Because it's not just on him for being hungry, but it's on the brother for being envious and greedy of his brother's birthright. They gonna say, so we forego consequences if our mind focuses on satisfying an immediate desire, or a loss of perspective as the mind creates obsession, habitual thinking. So like I was saying about the neurons and the repetition of, because your brain like a forest. Feel me? It could be dark. The sun come up, it still could be dark in the forest. You feel me? Like, yeah, sun rays getting through this jump, but until you start charting a path and laying down landmarks and like key points like integrity and shit, where you actually gonna go? You ain't gonna be able to move around. You ain't gonna be able to get back, and you're gonna have to constantly tread that same little path that you've been going, looking for that out in darkness. Get more of that, right? So break out of the habits that cause us to despise our birthrights, and do the like the blessing of Abraham. That kind of is your birthright. So it's like your repetition of thinking about negative things or less than stellar outcomes. Kind of like it really gets in the way of faith manifesting positively in your life. You dig what I'm saying? And the promises that's in your chart from you actually understanding and getting that the lessons and everything and the experience from whatever's in your chart. So then the tarot card is the Eight of Swords because this is the 20th degree, 20 degrees and 11 minutes of Gemini. So this is the tarot card for the Eight of Swords. It's a woman. She's like loosely bound because she could just shimmy, shake and bake, and them Jones will fall. And then she blindfolded. You feel me? Blind to the true self-imposed prison, new perspectives. All the swords, they surround her, and then they on that. But if you look, the swords kind of give her a path towards water, where the land child like be green, because what's behind her was a castle. Maybe she was up in that castle, stuck up in their little self-imposed prison, ivory tower or whatever, right? Now she kind of escaped, but she don't see it's a path made with like water. And we were saying you return to the light. Apa Soma is one of the lights, one of the Vasus. Prithvi, earth, fertility, the green earth, and the ground is support, one of the Vasus. The sky is here, one of the Vasus. Spaces and everything, one of the Vasus. There's a light behind her, which means that light has to be motherfucking revolving around the central star or pole, which is one of the Vasus. You dig what I'm saying? Alright, so this, and then swords is air element. It's about your thoughts. So it's just about having like thoughts and like, oh my gosh, like what if if it was a fifth, we'd be drunk as a bitch, So you just get out of that shit. You interfering. It's too many. You're spreading yourself thin in some instances, and then you thinking big about little shit. Jupiter and Gemini is thinking big as hell about some of the littlest, dumbest shit. Like you thinking big or just about community. Like, oh man, I gotta think big about small talking. What? Why you trying to be so grandiose? Hey, what's up? Like you might say hi and motherfucker might dismiss you before you get to the next part of that, right? And you be like, oh, thank goodness. All right. Might have dodged the bullet. You feel me? Can't you just let certain things. Same vein, like if things are interfering, let it. All right, well, let me get out of there. Feel me? Don't be trying. You don't force nothing this month. Telling you. So called interference. A woman blinded, bound. She's surrounded by swords. She thinks she held hostage, but they don't really surround her. They really show a way out. Her thoughts keep her stuck in that spot. Her thoughts keep her all, closed off and shit like that. And then her own mind is blinding her to shit. See what I'm saying? Your mind, but she got Charlotte swords around her. Use a sword. I don't know. You cut your hand open if you use a sword as an arrow. So the feet fertile ground, but it's different from the rocky cliffs. What the fuck you gonna put on a rock? You can't grow nothing on a rock. You dig? So it's an opening for you if you only open your eyes to it. And then Sabian symbols, I really couldn't pick one because it's 20 degrees, 11 minutes. The full moon phase spans through like pretty much the last half of Ardra, and then we're gonna get what is the next two parts of 2-3 parts of Punarvasu. So this one is outbursts. Is the Gemini 21 for the 20 degree to 21. So it allows an outburst of pent up feelings. It's healthier to release pent up emotions rather than to repress them. Workers treated unfairly by oppressors are so often overstimulated to act hysterically by persuasive force. Oh yeah, well that's just the flim flam. A lot of that just be the flim flam. You dig what I'm saying? Like that inner compulsion to rebel emotionally. So flim flam is when somebody got an emotional addiction. So like a psychopath, counterfeit personality type, they got an emotional addiction to be right. Oh, they need to be right all the time. So, they're dying for you to do something a little like, that's not right. Like they want to just control things. So even if you ain't doing nothing wrong, they need you to do it their way, because I can't really exist if you don't do it my way. Because if you fuck up doing it my way, even though your way ain't wrong, it's just I would prefer you to do it my way, because if you fuck up, I can be right. But if you do it your way, I can't be right. Now I don't feel comfortable and my emotional addiction is not satisfied. I actually appreciate you more in a way, but I'm just like about to make your life hell. You dig what I'm saying? So now you get a labor demonstration, an outburst of pent up feelings like, oh, fuck you. But what all boundaries just make people nipples hard. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, got boundaries. You don't say. Oh, get the fuck. Get the fuck. Ah! Because they only enter you because I like that you have boundaries. Can I get next to you and stuff? Tell me more about your boundaries so that I can discover how to break them down. You feel me? Like what? Then you get what they say, marketing, politicians, marketing managers. Oh yeah, let me go door to door and shit. Hey, so what's your cable? If I know something about your cable provider, I could probably point out an issue that you're currently having. And then let me oh, see what I'm saying? Counterfeit personality and an unnatural system. They feed on blood and everything they do. So it's like, ooh, what insecurities do you have? You insecure about cable? Fuck. And then this is Gemini 20 for 19 to 20. And this is the dangers of superabundance. I damn near feel like they can switch. But if we take in more than we digest, the wastage occurs. It's a potential problem. Feel me? And you get addicted, obsessed. And it's like, I just gotta have this. Nigga, I ain't even gonna say that shit. But yeah, feel me? Certain things, I actually do have a boundary. Like, it's a table full of food. One of my boundaries really be food. Oh, you eat what you eat, and let that be that. But I don't want to eat with you, you know. So the supreme importance of applying reasonable limits to our desired nature. Yeah, man, because that you sit up there and you be like Esau. You be like, man, oh, I'm so hungry. What are those pastries? I gotta have them. I'm willing to live outside the will of God for them pastries. Oh, quit it. You dig what I'm saying? Gotta be careful. Since early days when tree enacted the search for spices to improve our food triggered their exchange for knowledge. To the point where the surpluses are so obscene that nothing much is being properly assimilated. That's all that ultra processed food they was talking about. But not just the processed food, right? This waste is perhaps even more harmful on the level of mind than materiality, since truth is all but entirely lost and no discrimination remains between what is factual and wise and what is silly nonsense or lies and corrupting influence upon the collective mind. Why they rhyming, mo? The terrible cost of having failed to moderate our will to expand is an existential threat and the defining principle of our age. Having failed to moderate our will to expand. Hey, look, man, that nigga, my Israelite man, he was like, yo, nah, he was about to say something about some scripture, and I was like, bruh, stop it. Precept on precept. In the beginning, you feel me? In the beginning. He said, everybody, man, everything with a body can eat of the grass. Well, not really the grass, but you dig what I'm saying? All the things that grow, vegetation. Return to the light. Lord of vegetation is soma, water. Water, vegetation, fruits, salads. It's good for your mind. Thus good for your body. Soma, our body is made of mainly soma, water, and prithvi, earth. You dig what I'm saying? So, what you doing? Who told you need to eat animals? That's crazy. I don't come from monkeys. This ain't no, not, feel me? If motherfucker got 2% Neanderthal and Neanderthals eat animals, okay, cool. That might be their diet. You dig what I'm saying? I don't get that though. If you feel me. But I don't come from monkeys and none of that. I just can't feel that. I ain't gonna bullshit you. So, and then the teeth, these are not carnivorous teeth. You understand what I'm saying? So like, nah, you really not supposed to eat that. Cause let me tell you why. You trying to justify wanting to eat something, but what if it's just not? You know, everything gonna get their sustenance, even the birds of the earth. But like like my nigga chill, you can't really justify that. I give you a bunch of reasons. You tell me what mean a lot to you, and I can give you a reason why you shouldn't, based on what means something to you. You feel me? I ain't babbing evil. You can't justify. It's a little weird. It's a little weird, man. You know. But it's an existential threat. What's that one movie where it was like they was in prison and they got these super duper fancy food and they put it on the first floor and then they drop it to the next floor. But the people on the higher floors is about to eat and take stuff and they gonna sit up there and piss on the table and spit on things like it's no etiquette. It was all greed. It was just a display of greed. The people at the top, they spirit of Mahabali or whatever, they, oh yeah, I'm doing a good thing by making this delicious food. Shouldn't prisoners eat delicious food? It's like, man, I guess, but if you serving them all this meat and shit, and then you yourself eating all this meat and blood, right? Something really, really gotta die. In order for this steak and all these shits. Just for motherfuckers to not really eat all of it. Like I understand why really, really expensive restaurants uh really they gonna serve you a small portion of shit. Cause it's like like no animal give you a whole bunch of garnish too, cause you need to eat vegetables. Like first and foremost, people waste. Imagine me giving you a big ass steak and like you ain't really eating most of this junk. So nah, they really have to, in a way, somebody has to expand and exercise a will with things like eating meat, man. Y'all, I don't even get that. Like, every little kid, like especially younger siblings, as of recent, you really had to work. What are they like? Less than 10, bro. You actually had to work to get them to eat meat. Damn, they gotta force him and yell at, man, eat the chicken. Like, what the fuck? No, he know that shit is cannibalism. But we're gonna create a groove though. We're gonna create a groove because it's not normal for a kid to not want chicken nuggets, right? It's like, no, it's not normal. That nigga probably want fruit. Niggas like pastries. I ain't gonna bat. Feel me? Little motherfuckers like cereal and stuff. Like I don't even know ice cream, but they like fruit. You give a kid a smoothie, they digging them jams. They'll appreciate you. Oh, you cool. You be making smoothies. I don't even know, bro. But it's like, yeah, nah, I've seen that. Like nigga forcing kids, you ain't forcing kids to eat chicken, but it's like they don't. I, it ain't really a natural. Like, all right, yeah, let me eat some meat with my teeth that I'm not even gonna keep past another few years, another couple 36 months. Ain't even gonna have them teeth. Nah, they be trying that shit, but you know, cause I ain't a predator. I'm a man, dog. I ain't with all that. Like, yeah, I don't. You couldn't even talk symbolically to me and justify it. It's wrong. I feel bad for the cows. Like, no bad. Oh Lord, have mercy on the Heifers. Lord, have mercy on the Heifers. Is this everything? All right, thank you, mom.